High school operates as a ruthless social economy, an ecosystem that rewards dominance, punishes weakness, and creates invisible targets like 17-year-old Ethan. Ethan's daily existence was a constant exercise in endurance. People threw paper balls at his desk. In the cafeteria, students recorded him secretly to mock him online. Even the teachers looked past him, physically ignoring the harassment. The environment became even more hostile when his only ally, Jake, calculated the social cost of association. Jake joined in on the mockery to secure his own social capital. When an environment completely strips away a person's support system, the victim faces a psychological ultimatum: adapt or disappear. The breaking point arrived on a random afternoon. Ethan walked into class to find a fake, humiliating photo of himself displayed on the projector. The entire room erupted into laughter. Standing near the front, smiling with the rest of them, was Jake. Ethan stood perfectly still. He offered no anger and no tears, withdrawing instead into a profound, chilling silence. Staring at his bedroom ceiling that night, Ethan arrived at a cold realization. If the people in his environment only respect fear, he would have to become terrifying. The trauma rewired his perspective. In a matter of hours, his social environment transitioned from a prison into a psychological chessboard. From that day forward, Ethan maintained his physical presence while effecting a total mental disappearance. He stopped trying to fit in entirely. While his peers focused on conventional subjects, Ethan began a secret curriculum. He studied human behavior, the mechanics of influence, and the clinical psychology of manipulation. By detaching his emotions from the situation, Ethan neutralized the only power the bullies had over him. This distance granted him the absolute clarity needed to observe them as test subjects. Ethan began noticing the micro-expressions of his tormentors, the way a bully's bravado faltered the moment a more popular student entered the room. He realized that their aggression functioned as a shield for a fragile ego. He watched them obsessively check their social media feeds, their moods fluctuating with every like and comment. To these predators, a loss of status feels more terminal than any physical injury. He called this the currency of fear. During a 6-month period of calculated silence, Ethan mapped out this ecosystem. He tracked the hidden lies and the exact vulnerabilities of everyone around him. This exhaustive mapping process eventually provided him with the necessary leverage, a recording Jake had kept hidden for years. Ethan understood that to completely bankrupt a target's social capital, the damage had to be public. He selected the upcoming graduation party as his execution site. The party was a chaotic, high-energy environment. Music blasted, crowds gathered, and Jake stood directly in the center of the room, basking in the attention. At 10:43 p.m., a single mass text reached every device in the house simultaneously. It contained Jake's secret recording. The atmospheric shift was immediate. The laughter died out. Whispers spread rapidly. In a matter of seconds, Jake's social standing disintegrated. Panic set in. Jake searched the room for the source of the leak, only to lock eyes with Ethan, who stood perfectly still across the room, quietly observing the fallout. Ethan weaponized his silence, using the very ecosystem that once empowered Jake to systematically destroy him without uttering a word. Over the following week, Jake's life collapsed. Friends abandoned him, he was mocked online, and he experienced the exact isolation he had once inflicted on Ethan. Jake eventually cornered Ethan in an empty hallway, asking why he would do this. Ethan looked back at him and said, "Nobody protects weak people." Revenge functions as a transfer of pain, shifting the burden from the victim to a new host without healing the original wound. This serves as a reminder to look closely at the quiet observer in the room. Prolonged silence is the incubation of a